Thank you so much for joining us on the Dwellynn Show. I'm your host, Ola Dantes. I've got a dynamic duo with us today, Brian and Chad. Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, man? How are you?
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, I'm doing great. I think this is the second time I've got two guests on the show. So yeah, second time, so yeah, looking forward to it. So yeah, let's jump right into it. Can you guys kind of tell me a little bit more about who you guys are, what you've been up to, and what you guys are doing lately? So maybe we'll go Brian and then we'll go Chad.
Yeah, sure. So a little bit of background. We run a digital marketing agency that helps real estate investors generate leads. And then we're also real estate investors ourselves. So we buy properties, buy them, fix them up, pour money back out and rent them out. So we do a lot of buy and hold stuff there. So that's basically what we do. We've been doing digital marketing for like the last 15 years. And then buying properties in the last probably 7 or 8. We kind of do hobbies as a hobby, or real estate as a hobby a little, but we own like 17, 18 single family. So it's nothing like ginormous, but it's growing.
Yeah, exactly what Brian said. I mean, we've been doing real estate together for years now. I've been doing digital marketing, buying ads on Facebook, doing organic SEO, things like that for almost a decade as well. So that's how we drive all these leads and get all these properties.
Okay, so maybe we'll kind of break our conversation here into kind of two parts of what you guys are doing from a tactical perspective, generating leads from your motivated leads, business, and then we can talk about real estate and how the two kind of merges together. So maybe Brian, maybe you can kind of help go through like the process of your business in terms of how that works in terms of motivated leads.
Yeah, sure. So originally, like in the business, we got into this. We have a local website in Pittsburgh. I'm going to step back from that. We did marketing for the last 10 years. And then I wanted to get into real estate. So I slapped up a website. I'm like, hey, let me just stick them up and see if we can generate our own leads versus I was buying properties from wholesalers before that. So we stuck up a website, just a little carrot website, nothing fancy. Started marketing it, and motivated sellers were coming through, like people that, hey, I just want to get rid of my house. I just inherited it. It needs too much work and I can't afford to fix it and list it. Stuff like that. They're like, hey, if you buy this, I'll give you a discount on it. And if you make it real convenient, I'm just leaving all this stuff. I don't want to deal with anything. So that was great. And we're like, okay, we're saving like $10,000, $15,000 wholesale fees. That's awesome. So we started doing that, put more money into it. And then we started getting partnering up with a couple wholesalers in Pittsburgh for our excess leads. And we're sending to them and we're just splitting profits doing joint ventures. We're like, geez, this is something pretty sweet. So then we decided, okay, let's do this in other markets because we have so much experience in the marketing. Let's do this in other markets and help other people do the same thing. And that's kind of where it started at.
So can I kind of zone in on that? So when you say help other people, so when you're looking to penetrate a new market, do you look for folks kind of boots on the ground to kind of replicate what you guys did in Pittsburgh? Is that kind of your business plan?
No, you know what we're doing? I haven't found a way to replicate like the joint ventures we do in Pittsburgh because there's a lot of trust involved there and things like that. So what we do is we just allow investors in other areas to sign up with us, and we do the same marketing for them under their brand as we do for us. So it's like, hey, you know what? Pay us monthly. We'll set up your Facebook ads, your Google pay-per-click. We'll market your business for you and take all the knowledge that we have, and you get to benefit from that. And you just generate your own leads. You run them. You keep 100% of the profits. We don't do splits or anything, and it seems to work out pretty well.
Interesting. So when did you guys kind of make that, I guess, jump into just, getting the leads and, kind of connecting with wholesalers to, hey, maybe we should buy some of this and actually hold on to this properties? When did you guys kind of make that decision? Maybe Chad can take that. Don't want to leave him out of the conversation.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah, Brian got me into all the real estate side of things. So I'm happy with him running it. So when did we make the decision to start giving the leads to the wholesalers, what you're saying? Mm-hmm. Or like make the deals with them personally here in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, like when did you guys think of like, hey, maybe we'll keep some of this stuff in-house and actually hold this property? And maybe Chad, maybe you can talk about how you got started too, and then kind of answer the question after.
Yeah, so definitely how I got started was that I always ran an agency. Brian had an agency. I saw Brian was investing in real estate with all of his agency profits, and he's buying these houses left and right. And I'm like, man, I got to figure out something to do here. Like, how are you doing this? And here he's like, well, we got to buy one property cash first. And then from there, you get all of your money back after you fix it up. I'm like, wait, we get all of our money back? And he's like, yeah. So what you do is you put all this money into the property, then you refinance it, get all that money back, and then go buy the next property. And here, we kind of put a cycle in a whole process in place where, hey, when a property jumps up in this one location where we live, let's go buy and hold it. So we go buy that property for $100,000, put $20,000, $30,000 into it, and then refinance back out of it and have $100,000 again to start with to go buy another property. So it just kind of compounds. So after you do one, you kind of like learn the ins and outs of it. And then you just keep buying based on how much time you have. And you do have to put a little bit of money into it. You have to put, I mean, not a little, a decent amount. You have to be able to put like $20,000 to $30,000 into the property each time. But you get that initial chunk of like 100,000 back each time as well. So we decide to buy and hold based on if it's a great deal, and if it's in one area, this area in between our houses where Brian lives, and if they're 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom homes that make a lot of sense, that are going to build a lot of equity over time. That's how we make the decision if we want to buy and hold it, or if we want to just give the lead off to a wholesaler and let him go wholesale the property.
So typically, this is what I've kind of seen. I've never done any wholesaling or even generating leads from motivated sellers, but usually you have a website, somebody has a pain point, they want to get rid of a property, they come into your website, and then you guys do a bunch of activities, and then you buy the property or you wholesale the property. A lot of people want to start their real estate investing journey in wholesaling, but is it really easy to do that, right? If I'm just out and I'm like, hey, I want to get started, but I want to do wholesaling, can I just like do that? Or is it a bunch of stuff that you guys do every day? How easy is it?
Yeah, you can get into wholesaling. So if you're just getting started out, you got the choice. Hey, am I going to trade time or am I trading money? And if you don't have the money, then you're trading time. So what you got to do, you can do multiple different ways. You just go out. You're mainly looking for people you can buy their house at a deep discount and then turn around and sell that contract to an investor and make the spread. So you can drive for dollars, drive around looking at houses, weeds are grown over, stuff like that. Look on the county website and track the owners down. You can put up bandit signs. Some counties don't let you, or some areas will get in trouble for that, but you can send mailers, you can telemarket. We do digital. Digital is where you're trading the money for your time. We're doing the marketing for you and getting the leads. But a lot of guys like just starting out, look on Craigslist. There's all kind of different ways. You got to be creative and you got to hustle. Like it's hard work, but you figure if you're getting $10,000, $15,000 a wholesale fee, you're getting paid for it. It's just that initial one, you got to find that deal and do it right and make sure you don't make the mistake on the first one. It loses all your profits. I don't know if that answers your question there.
Yeah, it's definitely a hustle. Like you definitely have to be grinding, calling, willing to fail, because you might contact 200 property owners before you find one that makes the right deal for a wholesale deal. But you just have to be willing to put in that time and that work, but it will pay off once you get the system refined and everything. Then you save that profit and then go buy and hold properties once you do 5, 10, 15 deals on a wholesale basis.
Yeah,
I think that's probably a good segue. Were you going to say something, Brian?
No. You guys covered it pretty good.
Yeah. I think a good segue is kind of systems, right? So you guys have got a pretty solid system. How would you kind of break down the different channels that you get your leads from? Are you getting a lot of the leads from online and then from online from Facebook or online website? Like I'm just kind of curious, what is that breakdown in terms of inbound lead?
We work with about 120 some investors now nationwide. And the majority of our guys and us ourselves, we 100% get our leads digitally, online from platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Google, pay-per-click. So running ads out there for people to click on, come to our website, fill out a form, say, hey, I want to sell my house. Here's some information on my house. And then we contact them. And that's what Brian was talking about, trading money for time. We don't have the time with our business from a day-to-day standpoint to be cold calling, texting, trying to find all these houses. So what we do is we spend money on advertising, anywhere from $50 to $100 a day, and go about it that way.
Wow, fascinating. I really, really like that. So you've got this pretty solid system on the, motivated lead side. But then so this is the second phase of our conversation here. How does your buy and hold business look? I mean, is that just pretty on autopilot for the most part? Are you guys still doing a bunch of rehabs, and are you guys, collecting rents? Like, what does that look like in contrast to your business?
Yeah, sure. So here's how it works. We're actually closing on our property next week. I'll tell you, we just did one. We just finished up and rented it out. We've got a property, 100 grand. We put 40,000 into it, so we've got 140,000 into it total. We appraised. They got it appraised for the bank. It appraised at 215. So we got what, like 75 grand profit there. Went to the bank, pulled our 140 grand back out of it, and then I have I used to manage them myself. Now I have a property manager for a couple reasons. Number one, people trick me into renting to them, and I'll kind of get like poor tenants. They're like, they have bad credit and it doesn't follow my guidelines, but they talk me into it. So the property manager helps out big time there. I mean, you have rentals, like you get a bad person or you can't get them out or they trash your place and it's just horrible. So I do have a property management, number one, for that reason alone. But also they collect the rents, they handle the maintenance. So we pretty much front load it we manage the whole rehab. And then once that rehab's done though, then I pass the bucket and we're pretty much good. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty much passive by then.
Awesome. So you guys have got this pretty amazing business, like Motivated Leads, and then you're obviously just running your real estate business, investing business on the side as well. Kind of, with the property management company helping you out. What is kind of the future, for your brand, and how can people actually leverage and benefit from the system that you've created?
Want to run that, Chad?
Yeah. So benefit from the system that we've created. I mean, it is like kind of a pay to play platform. So you have to be able to like invest $1,500, $3,000, $4,000 a month to really like set up a system from a digital aspect to drive these leads. But there's so many training videos, so many things out there that you can attempt this on yourself. It is very tough to like, hey, learn digital advertising. I've been doing it for 10 years and I'm still learning something new every day. But if you put the time in and set it up properly and watch all these YouTube videos, everything that's out there, you can see how to test Facebook advertising or Google in your local area and try it for yourself to autopilot a little bit. But you definitely just got to get some reps under your belt first. Like you said, wholesaling or getting new into real estate. If you have the money and you can buy a property from a wholesaler, go buy a property from a wholesaler. And it's usually a good deal for you. You might have to give them 5 or 10 grand. But from an investment standpoint, it makes a lot of sense for you, and get your feet wet. Go through a rehab, see how tough it is, and then go refinance and go get your next property and just compound. Be patient with it. Can't rush, because that's when you make mistakes. And it does take a while to get going, but if you're patient with it, it'll definitely pay off.
Yeah, so maybe talk me through a little bit, if there's somebody listening and thinking, wow, that sounds interesting. Yeah, I don't want to go bang my head on the proverbial wall trying to figure all this stuff out when you guys already do this every day. What does that look like? Let's say I engage your company and, pay whatever, $1,500, $2,000, whatever, the fee is. What does that look like?
Yeah, so for us, if you come to us and you're like, hey, this is my area, we ask you like, where do you want to get leads for houses from? Is it in a city? Is it in a county? Or are you going to cover the whole entire state? Based on that, you come to us. We do charge a minimum $1,500 management fee, but we will set up a whole entire website for you. We will build your brand logo, set up all the Facebook ads, all the Google ads, everything for you. And then we'll drive the leads to your website. You do have to pay ad spend as well, which you're paying directly to like a Facebook or Google platform you hook your credit card up to. You gotta be willing to spend $1,000 to $2,000 a month there as well. But we manage all the ad buying, everything for you. The leads come through your website, and the only thing that you have to do is call these leads, set up appointments, and go meet them at the house and see if it makes sense from you from an investment standpoint. So it's done for you, turnkey solution. But it does cost money, but it is very, very effective. Most of our guys are paying, I would say minimum like $3,000 a month all in with ad spend and management, but they're getting a deal a month, and a minimum deal for them. I mean, from a wholesale perspective, it might be 10 grand. From an investment perspective, could be upwards of $100,000. So that return on your money is kind of unreal. And we have guys at scale and just keep compounding and growing their business through us.
And how long does that process take of, getting to, kind of setting a potential new wholesaler up to actually getting the first deal? Because there's kind of a ramp up phase, even though, you guys already have all the systems, how long do you think it would take from the very first day the website launches to getting their first deal based on your experience?
Yes. Yeah. So the way it works is say you told us that, oh, you're like, hey, Brian, let's do it. Like, okay, we send you a form, you fill out, give us all your information. Once we get that back, we start designing ads, we start writing your ad text, and we usually will have you launched within 10 days. After that, depending on how competitive the market is, we're paying to be there. Like we're paying Facebook or we're paying Google. So on Facebook and Google, we're usually seeing leads fairly quickly just because we're paying ad spend to push out our ads. SEO is another whole other animal. SEO, you might be waiting like 4 months to get leads. But once you get them, there's a high return on investment because you're not paying to be there. But Facebook and Google, I usually see leads coming in within the first week. It's going to be slow in the first month because things need to optimize. We're testing ads, testing creatives, all that kind of stuff. But you're still getting leads. The cost per lead might be higher than we like. But yeah, it's not like you're waiting 3 months to start getting any action. It's pretty quick on the paid marketing side.
Fantastic. Wow, this is really fascinating stuff. I'm sure people listening in might be thinking the same as well. Really appreciate it. We're definitely dwelling into the quick rounds. These are going to be quick questions, quick answers. You ready, sir?
Ready.
All right. So I'm going to do Brian and then Chad, right? So the very first question, what makes you, Brian, unique? What is that differentiating factor that separates you from the next guy or the next girl? So Brian, you go first, and then Chad, you go next and answer the same question.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Are you saying like unique in business or unique in general or what?
You can do both or you can do one, but I prefer personal because the personal overspills into the business, of course.
Okay, cool. So on the personal side, what makes me unique? I drive super hard and I push really, I push myself hard and I push myself. I'm not scared to fail. So I'd say my bullheadedness and stubbornness in work ethic probably puts me different than most people just because I'll wake up 3, 4 in the morning. I'll work till 9 p.m. at night if we need to, like stuff like that. You just do whatever you need to do to accomplish the goal. And I fixate on that goal and just try to focus it to get there.
And that's not just one day a week. Brian wakes up and works that 7 days a week. And I kid you not.
Welcome to the club, Brian. Welcome to the club.
Right?
He's waking up.
Yeah. So Chad, same question here.
It's the same thing. I mean, we both are super hard workers, but I think like thinking bigger, thinking outside the box, just from like, hey, like this is cool where we're at, but how can we go bigger? Like, how can we scale this bigger than where we're at? Or how can I be better? I tell myself a lot of times, like, I never want to be average. Like anything I do, from working out, from business, from life, like if the average person is doing this, then I don't want to do it. Like they say you should drink 1 gallon of water a day. I try to drink 2. Like, I'm just always trying to be better.
Awesome. I'm sure you guys have got fantastic answers to the second question. What was the last book that you read? And what was the one thing that you picked up from that book? For those who are listening to this, the reason I said that is if you go on YouTube and you see this video, Brian and Chad, they have their background is just full of books. I mean, I've got my books at home, not here in the office, but yeah, so I'm an avid reader. So yeah.
Yeah, if I had to talk about one book, it would be Richest Man in Babylon. And there's one specific page in that book. It's called The 5 Laws of Gold. That is the one book in the one page I would recommend everyone read. It will make you avoid losing money, and it will make you a lot of money.
The one book for me that I read every single day, it's called The Daily Stoic. It's the journal entries of Marcus Aurelius. And it just talks a lot about like patience, wisdom, and how to make all of your decisions from taking a step back, being very patient, thinking them through, and just get your mindset right for the day. So every single morning, I read a page from that book, one of the journal entries, and it's a great way to start my day.
Oh man, I love Marcus Aurelius, right? I don't know if you've read Meditations. That's one of my favorite. Oh, you gotta. One of my favorites, and I love the fact that there's a journal from him, and then you can just read that every day. I'm buying that today. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Every day, it's dated every single day, so you just follow it. Every year, you just keep repeating it to like just instill it in yourself.
That's amazing. Yeah, I gotta get that. Final question. You guys are busy running your businesses, spending time with family. What do you do for fun?
Yeah, so what I do for fun, I have a family, so I'm always trying to find that balance. We do a lot of camping. So I'll work real hard during the week, especially when it's nice. We're here in Pittsburgh. And then I'll usually take off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, try to shut my phone off and spend time with the family. And then I also barbecue a lot. So I really like barbecue, and I got one of the big green eggs, and I spend a lot of time trying to perfect and make the best meals.
Brian doesn't take off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. He's I don't know what he's talking about over there. He's out of it today. But on my side, what I do on my side, I love to work out. I love to golf. So I work out, I golf, and read here and there. That's what I like to do, and listen to podcasts in my free time to really unwind and get away from things.
Awesome. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate you guys. And if there's anyone listening thinking, wow, these guys are superb, like I think that you guys are, how can people reach out, get to know you guys, get connected with you guys, maybe even partner with you guys?
Yeah, sure. They can just go onto our website. It's motivated-leads.com. If you want to chat, we got a phone number on there, or just fill out a form and we can talk.
Perfect. I appreciate you guys again. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for having us.